Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tony back with another Tiger Sox review for the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
Exactly.
Today we're going to be reviewing a beer sent to us by our friend Mr. Gone V6, Chris from Indiana.
Chris from Indiana.
He sent us a beer that is not an actual Indiana beer, so this is technically not a Hoosier beer, despite the fact that it did arrive from him. This is the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale.
Yes, sir.
And I did not do my homework properly. I did not go to BJCP and look up Kentucky Ale to see what you should be looking for with Kentucky Ale, such as ABV, flavor notes, bouquet notes.
We're in for a surprise, basically.
Yeah, and I do apologize for that. That was bad form on my part not to get that done. But I figure, we'll try this out. Then we can go back to BJCP later and find out just how close to form this is.
This can be done.
I'm assuming this
Can be
is
done.
this. I'm assuming this is Kentucky Ale in the variety of Kentucky Ale. It's a variety that only emerged within the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether this very well could be just an ale that they barrel aged, not necessarily a Kentucky ale per se, but anyway, this is from Alltechlexingtonbrewing Company. This has an 8.2 ABV, so as once again, don't know whether that's high, low, about right, what have you.
With the
But
barrel aging, though, that seems. 'Cause it
yeah,
seems
exactly.
like
Usually when you barrel
aged,
age,
it's,
you
gonna
rack
start-
up some more alcohol to it, that's
So
for
maybe
sure.
if this particular ale wasn't barrel aged, maybe you would hover around 5 or 6.
We did go to the website. It says that their ale is aged for up to 6 weeks in charred distillery barrels from. They didn't say what specifically distillery, so I'm guessing pretty much any distillery that's willing to let go of a barrel in the area they'll grab. But naturally, there's plenty of Appalachian distillers making
yeah.
whiskey.
Oh,
So
plenty of barrels laying around.
yeah, exactly.
Age
Yeah.
just about anything. Let's age lemonade. Yeah.
So we do thank you, Chris, for sending
Yes,
this
of
beer.
course,
And
absolutely. Chris is the
as I said, this is technically not a Hoosier beer, but hell, should we just
We can still have a Kentucky beer in
crack
the
this
state of
open?
Nevada.
And
Allow me, good sir.
I thank you. Tony's going to be using the pop the top opener from Taza
Yeah, remember this? Remember? Do y'all remember?
Remember?
I'm referencing South Park while wearing your South Park.
Wow, I didn't even. Yeah. Oh, the irony.
I do like the cap. It's got kind of a for all you chess enthusiasts out there. I think you might.
Does this one shut the crap?
Okay, fourth time's a charm. But yeah, for all you cap collectors, we've done this a million times. Just
Some of
fine.
the crowning is just fine.
And yeah,
for
I like
receiving
the darn it, I like the cap because of the
for those, yeah, you
like a
cap
chess, kind of a
collectors.
chess rep. You could even play a chess with your caps.
You could, if you lost a knight on your chessboard,
Here
you
you
could
go.
use a Kentucky Ale cap for your knight.
I keep wanting to do Neil Diamond. Just like Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky
You
woman
got to
drink.
it.
Okay, yeah,
You've got
Uh-huh.
to pour it.
yeah. At first,
Kentucky
I have to
Ale.
admit, it took me a second when you said Neil Diamond. I'm like, song sung blue. I mean,
Come to America, drink
Kentucky Ale.
We're going to be drinking in a rampant glass from New Belgium and our good buddies at Tenaya Creek.
And Tony has news about Tenaya Creek personnel staff.
It's true, I do. Alex had his last day on Friday. Alex was basically, I'm not really clear, like, to a T what his job description was, but he was more of an ambassador. He was not a brewer. He was more like a rep. He would travel around town and sell the product basically and get it lined up for distribution, not just in Vegas but outside of Vegas, inside Nevada, and I would assume the other states that Tenaya Creek's distributed at. He's gone now, and Ruth is back. She was gone for a few weeks for maternal leave, so she's back as well.
So we say welcome back to Ruth, and we
Welcome back
wish
to Ruth,
Alex well in his adventures in New Belgium.
Indeed, yeah, he's going to New Belgium. So there's the label, and it's looks southern. It just has that.
Yes, it has that.
It looks
that
like
very,
it belongs from
yep.
in Kentucky.
Churchill Downs is exactly what I thought of
Yeah,
when I saw
exactly.
that. Oh, that is a nice color. Nice
Very,
copper.
very attractive color.
Uh,
Carbonation's very heavy.
I can smell the yeast actually from over here.
Real quick. Yeah, that's not really doing it justice. We got
Yeah.
sunshine pouring in.
I'd say probably a medium low carbonation. There's carbonation, but it's not in abundance. But yeah, very yeasty. Wow. I mean, it
Uh-huh.
smells.
It's filling the air all
It's.
around us.
I grew up about 3 miles from Manor Bakery in Kansas City, and that's very reminiscent of the smell of when the
You can
bakery,
actually
the
see
ovens were
right,
going in the morning.
you see right here the bubbles that are sticking to the glass. Look at that.
Hmm.
See that? That's pretty
And yet they're
intense
not on
carbonation.
that
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Whatever.
6 of 1, honestly. But that's funny that it didn't. The second one, because that's the first one you poured.
This
The
first half
second
of
one
the,
has the bubbles that stick.
yeah,
There's, huh?
yeah, mine had a few more seconds to,
I guess
and I did, flush these with water, so
that's
maybe
true. Yeah.
maybe that one is cleaner. I don't know. I'm not really getting
Okay,
so
now
much
I'm
of the.
getting
I'm not getting like a heavy bourbon barrel
now I'm
smell
getting
because usually
like
that's
honey. What I
Mhm.
really smell is honey.
like a say like a hibiscus maybe or
Yeah, I smell
that's maybe a little
like
bit of reach,
clover.
but no.
And there's a nice strong alcohol smell coming through. That's for sure.
Hmm. Not because of the color and it's kind of a lighter. It's an ale, obviously, but it's not. You're not getting that overwhelming smell of a barrel.
I'm getting
It's
almost.
it's not very like.
Getting a little bit of vanilla now. I'm finally getting some of those vanilla notes
Mhm.
that you sometimes get from the charred barrels from
I'm almost
bourbon.
getting like a little bit of an orange peel maybe.
Yeah, there's a citrus note to
Very
it.
faint, yeah. Interesting. Carbonation's really cool. Color's beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a
I just
nice
hope
copper
I just
color.
hope it's not too much on the barrel because it really looks like this should just be like a real like just like a splash of barrel flavor to it. It really shouldn't
Well,
be
six
overly.
weeks, not 6 months. So I mean,
That's true.
that's an aging process. That's about right. It's not one of those crazy aging where we'll see you in the spring kind of thing. Cheers.
Cheers. Down the hatch to you, fine people. Mm, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's got
That's
it's sweet and dry. I don't know how
it's dry.
that's
It
what's
almost feels like
extraordinary about it.
champagne for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a champagne
exactly.
texture.
That's how it's sweet and dry, and that there's that initial sweetness. Wow, the birds
Songs of the
really,
South
yeah.
took over here.
Apparently,
Sorry.
Uncle
We're
Remus is
Should we try
around the
this?
corner.
And la, 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 Snow White and Cinderella,
Exactly.
right?
But now
Little bunny
it's the
hops up,
sweet
spits the screen.
flavor comes through on that first note, but very dry finish. I mean, almost to the point where you have to have a second sip.
Right.
Wow, give it a rest.
I want some of your beer. It's like, only in Vegas do the birds like actually attempt to
Exactly, and get aggressive.
Hey man, I
But
got birds to feed.
what have we got?
Yeah, it's dry, but
I
it's
don't,
awesome though. Actually,
in all honesty, this actually it's a little bit like the honey nut granola bars you had when you were a kid.
hmm
That's what I'm getting.
like that glaze that kind of
Yeah.
they would
Uh-huh.
settle on
And
it or
it's
dip on
exactly,
it
yeah.
or brush
So
on it,
you get
whatever.
that sort of nuttiness because there is a nuttiness to this,
hmm
and then there's that honey flavor too that's coming through,
There's honey.
and then that very malty finish. This is a complicated beer. This
Slightly
really is.
flowery, and I'm still getting the
Hmm.
orange. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff going on, but I'm not really getting barrel. Like you're so used to today's beers being called barrel aged,
Hmm.
wood aged. I mean, whatever type of barrel they
It's
use.
not overly oaky. I'll give you that.
Right.
It's
It's
not.
not. You're not really getting much wood in
But I
this,
think
really.
I'm getting once again it's that vanilla. Somehow the vanilla comes through in that bourbon, and I think that's what's that bourbon. What they call what is it? The devil's cut, the cut the part that sticks in the
Yeah, the
wood
commercial
staves.
that shows the drops like being extracted
Oh yeah, yeah,
from the
exactly.
wood
Yeah,
itself. Yeah.
when the evaporation is called the angel's share, and the part that gets soaked into the wood staves is the devil's cut. So yeah, the devil's cut came through, I think, on the flavor of this because I am actually getting a little bit of the vanilla notes. Oh, I'm going to
Mhm.
finish this before I end up being able to take a picture of it.
Which is rare for you.
I am.
No, it's actually really satisfying. I actually didn't have much, I'll be honest, but coming in, I didn't have my hopes really high for it. I don't know. I didn't really know, first of all, what a Kentucky ale by definition
Yeah.
was. I knew what an ale was, but I'm like, what's going to make it
Actually, those of you
a
who are
Kentucky
watching,
ale?
if you want to
Yeah.
put in the comments,
Are there a bunch of Kentucky ales out there? I mean,
here's what a Kentucky ale should be. And even if you're not using BJCP's rules, if you're a brewer out there who says, okay, here's what I think a Kentucky ale should be,
yeah.
let's hear it by all means.
Yeah, because
This is a new variety, and
we kind of
this is my
experienced
first.
something like this in an older review when we
That's right. Yep.
We were sitting
Yeah.
here talking to you guys,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, "What's going on? We don't know this."
Yeah.
Kind of like new to us all together. And so this is kind of deja vu in a way. Yeah. All right. The birds
Yeah.
are chirping.
And
The Chris is
approves of the
rumbling.
beer, so
What can I do as far as noises? You don't want to know. Keep
but
that to ourselves. What are you going to score it?
this is probably going to get I'd say a 4.25. This is a
It
really,
deserves over
I like
4.
this a lot.
I would say.
Yeah. And if this was in a can, I'd give it a 4.5. But
Yeah. So all you
that is a good beer. That really is a very good beer. And those of you who are in the beer cocktail movement, I see a real opportunity for beer cocktail with this. It's dry, it's sweet, it has an alcohol flavor to it already. So I'm thinking something possibly mixing with rum, a flavored rum of some kind, or. But I really do think that the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale would is a good ingredient. Would be a good ingredient for beer cocktails.
I agree, and I think we kind of touched on why. It's a span of you got nut flavor, you got honey, you got hibiscus, you got orange peel, you got vanilla. I mean,
yeah,
any number of spirits could probably get thrown in there
and make a
smash it up a little bit. Yeah, garnish it with what you will.
Indeed.
Any other? We got a little bit of beer news outside of Tenaya Creek. This coming Saturday is the Lee's Beer Experience, which we probably talked about in a video about this.
Yeah,
time last
at
year
some point, I'm sure we've mentioned.
So we're back to that again. It's going to be May, and so yeah, we're going to go to that, and it's the 11th annual, and it's going to be held. If you see this video and you're like, "Hey, what's that?" Awesome event, one of the best ones in Vegas as far as beer enthusiasts go. You get the whole rainbow of brewers and varieties. It's a little bit pricey. I mean, I'll say that if you go to a Lee's location, Lee's Discount Liquor here in Vegas, there's like 15 locations spread out all over the place. If you buy a ticket there in the store, it's $60. You do get your money's worth. It's about 4 hours long. It is 4 hours long. There's live music, there's food available, and there's tequila that you're tasting, and just countless beers. I mean, last year we had a blast. Well, some of us had more of a blast than others, but
I had a good time up to the end.
Security guards there were kind of, jerks, but anyway, so it's a really cool event. If you can't buy a ticket in advance, you can buy tickets at the door. It's held at the Red Rock Casino on Charleston. It's about as far west in Vegas as you can go on Charleston. There's a nice casino there called the Red Rock. It's held there. It's May 6th, starting at 4 p.m. And if you have no choice but to buy a ticket at the door, it is $70 to get in.
And just so you know, that is right off the 215 in Charleston. If you were
It's
if you're coming in from some other town, the 215.
You could throw a rock and hit it. Right. It's right basically on that corner. It's a fun event. If you've done it before, it seems to get a little larger and a little bit more lush, like extravagant every year. They always seem to turn it up a notch each year. So I would really recommend it. And
sampling and photographing can be difficult. However, I will try and take photographs of some of the better beers that we have and tweet about them. And when Tony and I make it over to the Tenaya Creek tent, I will do my damnedest to try and get some some Creek Geek tweets out there, letting you know what Tenaya Creek's got going on. So until then,
I don't have any left.
He doesn't have any left, but
drink good beer.
Drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. And cheers.
Cheers. Sound advice.